Bonjour mes amis et bienvenue à ma chaîne Dani la Prof. Hello my friends and welcome to my channel Dani la Prof. This is a channel which will present to you a series of lessons to learn French basics. It is dedicated to all who would like to take the time to learn French from scratch or to brush up on their French knowledge to become more confident users of the French language. So consider to subscribe to my channel for weekly updates and new lessons. Today's lesson is going to be about the questions in French. Who, what, when, where, how in French. We are going to start off with the first question. So we are going to look at variants of asking the question for who. Qui means who, avec qui, with who, de qui, about who. Let's look at a couple of variants of questions that could be asked using these words. Qui est le président? Qui est le président? Qui veut de la glace? Qui veut de la glace? Avec qui vas-tu à l'école? Avec qui vas-tu à l'école? De qui tu me parles? De qui tu me parles? Qui est le président means who is the president. Qui veut de la glace? Qui veut de la glace? Who wants ice cream? Avec qui vas-tu à l'école? With whom do you go to school? De qui tu me parles? De qui tu me parles? Who are you talking to me about? Okay, now let's go to the second set of questions that we started working on. Qu'est-ce? This is a complicated group of words, and if translated word for word would be that is, this, that. So we are not trying to translate it word for word because it's gibberish and it just translates into what? Qu'est-ce? Qu'est-ce? We kind of say them all in one word. Qu'est-ce? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Qu'est-ce que je peux faire pour vous? Qu'est-ce que je peux faire pour vous? Qu'est-ce que je vous sers? Qu'est-ce que je vous sers? Qu'est-ce que vous voulez? Qu'est-ce que vous voulez? Qu'est-ce que tu fais means what are you doing? Qu'est-ce que je peux faire pour vous? What can I do for you? Qu'est-ce que je vous sers? What shall I serve you with? Qu'est-ce que vous voulez can be a little bit rude. What do you want? And it refers to the formal vous. To you, sir, you, miss. Okay, so let's go to our third type of question, which is quand. Quand. D is silent, N is nasal, so we are not pronouncing it fully. So we are saying quand. C'est quand le rendez-vous, s'il vous plaît? C'est quand le rendez-vous, s'il vous plaît? Quand rentres-tu à la maison? Quand rentres-tu à la maison? Quand est-ce qu'on part? Quand est-ce qu'on part? Quand arrivez-vous? Quand arrivez-vous? And in this situation, the D connects to the A after and makes the sound T. Quand arrivez-vous? Z is silent, S is silent. C'est quand le rendez-vous, s'il vous plaît? When is the meeting, please? The word rendezvous also means date. So a function of when it is being used, the context when it's being used, it can mean date and it can mean meeting. So it can be used both in official and personal situations. Quand rentres-tu à la maison? It's a usual question. When are you coming back home? So this would be a daily question in a family's life. Quand est-ce qu'on part? Quand est-ce qu'on part? When do we leave? Usually children very excited to go on holidays. Quand arrivez-vous? Quand arrivez-vous? When do you all arrive? Or when do you, sir, do you, miss, arrive? So it can be formal, as in sir or miss, or it can be informal, referring to a group of friends. Now let's go to our next group of questions referring to location. The group of letters OU will make the sound U. The accent on U is quite important because if we are missing on this little accent, the word means actually or. So the accent makes the difference between the word where or the word or. Yeah, so pronunciation-wise, they'll be pronouncing the same, U, but when we write them, we need to pay attention to have the accent on the U. D'où, from where from. Par où, which way, or which way. C'est où la gare de train, s'il vous plaît? C'est où la gare de train, s'il vous plaît? Où allez-vous pour les grandes vacances? Où allez-vous pour les grandes vacances? D'où êtes-vous? D'où êtes-vous? Par où pour aller au cinéma, s'il vous plaît? Par où pour aller au cinéma, s'il vous plaît? C'est où la gare de train, s'il vous plaît, means where is the railway station, please? Now, in our lesson about the courtesy words, how to sound polite, we already learned s'il vous plaît and the variant s'il te plaît. So if you want to refer back to the lesson that is about how to sound polite in French, please do so that you refresh on your knowledge about how to be polite in the French language. Où allez-vous pour les grandes vacances? Where do you go for the summer holidays? D'où êtes-vous? D'où êtes-vous? Where are you from? Par où pour aller au cinéma, s'il vous plaît? Which way to go to the cinema, please? Right, and comment. Comment can also be translated by how and what. Yeah. In the question, comment t'appelles-tu or comment vous appelez-vous, we are asking the name. Yeah. Comment t'appelles-tu? Comment vous appelez-vous? Comment ça va? Comment allez-vous? Comment pourrais-je vous aider? Comment pourrais-je vous aider? Comment dit-on en français? Comment dit-on en anglais? Comment dit-on en français? Comment dit-on en anglais? So, the question comment t'appelles-tu and the question comment vous appelez-vous, both of them are the question for the name. What is your name? When you are talking to a person the same age as yourself, you can ask the first one, comment t'appelles-tu? When you are talking to a person relatively foreigner, an unknown person, or somebody older, you would say comment vous appelez-vous? Comment vous appelez-vous? So the context can be different from, the register can be different from informal to formal. The same happens with comment ça va et comment allez-vous? Comment ça va? How are you? Comment allez-vous? How are you? So when you are talking to a friend, you will be saying comment ça va. When you are talking to higher up person, you will be saying comment allez-vous? Comment pourrais-je vous aider? How could I help you? This is a very obliging question, so very much used in customer speech. Comment dit-on en français? Comment dit-on en anglais? How do you say it in French? How do you say it in English? Now, a couple of language learning tips that would be our usual thing to remember and tricks to make us successful language learners. So one tip that I want you to take into consideration is that you should dare to speak. Even if you have an accent, and having a different accent only means that you can speak more than one language, which means to say that you make an effort to speak the other people's language, and you make an effort to be understood. So dare to speak, dare to ask your questions, and continue the conversation till it gets clarified. And on the same line, try to make yourself understood by giving as many clues to the context. And very often we are taking the body language as a part of conversation, and if people are raising their eyebrows, we stop talking. But we need to be very resilient in our conversation, and we need to actually continue till the context is all fully understood. And this is something that it will make you a really good language learner eventually. If you liked my lesson, make sure to give it a like, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. À très très bientôt.